You are creators. Creators are always looking forward into what is becoming, not backward or downward into what is. When you are driving your vehicle, hopefully you're looking where you're going, not where you've been, and not where you are. You don't have those mirrors. They would make you sick if you had them. They'll look right down at the road, right where you are. Think about that. You wouldn't want to go very fast into those conditions, would you? You're just looking right down at where you are. You want to look forward to where you're going. And we want you to understand that as you become forward looking, and by forward looking we mean as you become one who looks in the direction not only of that which you want, but hear this, looks in the direction of that which the larger part of you has already become. Did you hear that? Can you hear the importance of your step one part of this process? Contrast causes you to ask and source the inner being that is you, the God within you, the all that isness, collects the data of the best of life. Now we want to ask you a question. When you know what you don't want, when you see someone rude, when you see a mass murder, when you see some abhorrent experience, when you see something that you really, really, really know that you don't want, when you see people suffering, when you see people encouraging suffering, when you see those things you don't want to see, whether it's humans or animals or earth, when you see something you don't want to see, do you understand that in that moment you offer an equal and a commensurate and exactly equal, proportionate request that is exactly on the other side of what you don't want? In other words, when you're really sick, you really ask for wellness. If you're sort of sick, you sort of ask for wellness. If you're sort of confused, you sort of ask for clarity. If you're really confused, you really ask for clarity. In other words, your request is always proportionate to what you are allowing yourself to live. And for that reason, in this time of greatest diversity, which is a good thing, not a bad thing, as you are mixing it up with one another, you are asking massively. And as you don't allow yourself as individuals to go in the direction of what you're asking for, it just causes you to ask harder and stronger and more often. So that the requests that this time-space reality are sending forth into the vibrational escrow of mass consciousness is bigger and faster and more than it has ever been before. This stream is moving fast, and the answering to what you are asking for is happening in greater abundance than ever before. This pool of abundance that you have requested is at its all-time high and getting greater in every day, which means your propensity for thriving is greater than it has ever been. Your propensity for suffering is greater than it has ever been also. Because it's always equal. In other words, when who you have become is more and you don't let yourself become it, you don't feel so good. Fortunately, as individuals, you don't have to wait for everybody to figure it out before you have the ease of alignment. You get to individually go with the flow of that which you have become, and when you do, you come into alignment with who you are. So step one is you ask. Step two is source answers. Step three is you got to find some way somehow to become a vibrational match to what you've been asking for. Otherwise, you don't get what you've been asking for, but that's not the worst part of it. It's not that you just don't get what you want. It's that you don't be who you are. That's the thing that makes you feel negative emotion. You don't feel negative emotion because you're depriving yourself, and you are depriving yourself because nobody else could ever deprive you of anything. But you don't feel negative emotion because you have deprived yourself of the lover you want, or of the car you want, of the resources you want. You are feeling negative emotion because you are depriving yourself of the state of being that you are. You are secure. And when you feel insecure, there's some depriving going on. And it's not us, it's you doing it. When you are angry, you are depriving yourself because who you really are is one who loves. When you do not have enough of something wanted, it is you who is depriving yourself. But what you are wanting is alignment more than the stuff you think you want. Now, we want you to want all that stuff. We want you because you're out here in the leading edge. Someone said yesterday, well, not so sure that this stuff I want is really as spiritual as I want to be. And we say, this stuff out here on the leading edge is the extension of what spirit is. There is nothing that is not spiritual about your materialism because you are the extension of source energy. But there is a physical aspect of you that is out of sync with the spirit that is you. Just as there are physical aspects of you that are in sync with the spirit that is you. So it is not materialism that is tripping you up. It is having asked for that which Source has endorsed and become, and then holding yourself in vibrational opposition to it that makes you begin to write books about the inappropriateness of wanting material things. There isn't anything that you want that is material that you want for any other reason than that you believe you would feel better in the having of it. So this is just our way, and we are thrilled at the aha moment you just had. This is just our way of reminding you that often you are looking for love in all the wrong places. In other words, you're looking for the purchase to make you feel better, or the love of another to make you feel better, or the accolades from the public to make you feel better, when all along what you want and need in order to feel better is to find vibrational alignment with the point of view that Source has about the same subject that you are focused upon. That's what you're looking for. So, we've been spending time with you. We've been flowing through Esther for a number of years, and in this format we have offered many different explanations in an attempt to help you to understand more fully who you are, but most important, how you fit into the big picture. And we want you to understand that you don't just fit into the big picture, you are the big picture. You are Source energy. You are creator. You have come forth to explore for the purpose of taking thought beyond that which it has been before. You are an eternally expanding being. You can't stop that. You can't even slow it down. But what you can do, and many of you do in your physical form, is that your contrast causes you to expand, but you don't keep up with your expansion. So the longer you live, the more you expand. The longer you live, the more you expand. The more you hold fast to beliefs and ideas that don't let you take your expansion. So the greater discord happens between who you are and who you are. Your babies coming in, they're aligned. The more they hang around with you, the less aligned they are. Because you find so much to fuss and worry about in your exploration of contrast. Now, that in and of itself is not a bad thing. It's perfectly wonderful to look around your world and acknowledge the parts of it that you do not want. But when you keep the parts that you do not want active within you, you prevent yourself from being a vibrational match to the parts you do want, you see. And we just want you to understand that you have the ability to do a much better job of tuning yourself than you usually do. Tuning yourself to the furthest expansion of who you are.